Well, now that the kids are back in school, you might be thinking about saving money for their future education. Joining us this morning, the Honorable Kimberly Yee, Treasurer of Arizona. She's a mom of two, and she has some tips to help you save. It's always good to see you.
It's always great to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. You even brought one of your sons in with
did,
us this morning. I love that.
yes.
Jack is with us. All right. So I want you to talk to us about how being treasurer enables families to save for their future.
Yes. Well, this is back to school season, and what a perfect time to really start thinking about that education pathway. Beyond the school supplies and everything you need to afford during this period, you really have to think about your child's future as well. And so with my office, being the treasurer's office, we talk about student savings. And what does that mean for once they get out of high school and creating that pathway for college or workforce training, vocational school. And that's savings. It's really starting that savings plan today.
Yeah, it is so important to think about it now because time flies so fast, right? And all of a sudden they're there.
Yes.
So you have some tips to help families start, and because it can be a little overwhelming.
It really
so help us.
Well, let's start with just today. It's August.
Today, I like that.
Okay, and that really allows you to think about how can you save and create a budget for your family, and really trying to help your child create that budget as well, and making it a family event. So where do you start? Well, first of all, you've got to buy school supplies, and you have to start looking at uniforms. Well, those are things that you can save on right away. For instance, uniforms can be very expensive if your child has a school that requires that.
Right.
So take a look at swapping uniforms when they have the areas at the school site or maybe at a local thrift store.
Right.
You can save on clothing just in a very smart way with your family, talking about how you can spend a little less. The other thing you can do is take a look at what you have in place for the future. So if your family doesn't already have a savings plan for your child, you can start that with an Arizona 529 Education Savings Plan. That's something that is free of cost to start. You can start with $15 a month to put in that savings account, grow it over time, and with compound interest, you've got potentially $20,000 in the bank if you put $50 a month every single month that you have a budget for that. What is so wonderful about that is that you can create that stress-free pathway, knowing your child is prepared and ready with a savings plan once they graduate from high school.
Yeah, and it takes a little bit of stress off the parents as well, knowing that you've been putting this money aside and they have it already saved up. So for people, you said 529, and I want you to remind everybody at home, tell us about that plan. Well, and it is free.
It is. The Arizona 529 Education Savings Plan is a tax-free savings plan for families. They could be parents creating this plan for their child or grandparents who put money in for their grandchildren. Aunts or uncles can contribute whatever amount they have in their budget. They can get a $2,000 tax deduction every year, or if they're married, $4,000 per child, and there's no limit for every child that they have in this plan. That is a huge savings on a family to be able to start along the way in a very smart way where they're thinking, gosh, there's something that I could put in here every month, but I'm getting a tax deduction out of this.
Right.
Beyond that, you're allowing your child to see, wow, there's a way that I can start saving for my future dream job. And whatever that looks like, it could be culinary arts, it could be a university setting. Yeah. There's so much that they can use these funds for.
I was just going to say, so what can we use them for? And you just mentioned that. So it's good for trade schools and things like that as well, right?
And anywhere around the country. They don't have to just stay in Arizona for whatever schooling that looks like. They just have to be a qualified higher education institution around the country.
And it's not necessarily even if scholarships are involved, right? Because there's still expenses regardless. And is it any expense?
It could be for books, tuition, anything education related. And what's great about this is that, let's just say a family puts in money and they say, well, what if my child doesn't go to college or they don't use all of the funds? They can transfer up to $35,000 into a Roth IRA retirement fund for that very individual.
All really good information. All right, let me give you some more information. If you'd like to learn more about the AZ529 Education Savings Plan, call 602-542-7529 or go to az529.gov.